Hello, welcome again to another session of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. God, I messed up with that one. But anyways,
It's starting off strong.
I was.
Too much pressure.
You know what? Forget it. We'll do it live. But welcome to another session of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So here I have a lovely crew right here, which are going to introduce ourselves today. So for me, for starters, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Edward, and I'm basically one of the fun committees as well, the visual novel host for tonight. So whoever likes to take stand, please introduce yourself. Go.
I'll go ahead. I'm Zach. I did 2 pull-ups today, and I'm 5'11".
All right, I go by X Hydralisk, and I'm good at making people very uncomfortable.
That's how you say your name? Sorry. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead, Madeline.
I'm Madeline, and I enjoy Trader Joe's pickle popcorn.
It's not wrong. I'm Erin. I'm on the steering committee, and I handle our food-related events because I'm kind of a foodie. I'm also a professor, and one time I blew up an organic chemistry lab, but that was an accident.
My name is Nick. I served jury duty once, so I'm basically an expert.
That's pretty good. All right. So, with our introductions now done, I'm just going to give us the usual recap from the last episode. So, on the last episode, we managed to meet a young girl who goes by the name of Lana Skye. So, she's kind of a young, aspiring scientific investigator who one day wants to basically join the police force. However, she comes to us pleading, saying that she's seeking for Mia, who was our mentor, who trained us to be an ace attorney in the past. But unfortunately, she passed away, so we had to give her the awkward news. Yeah, she's not here, and I'm not Mia. However, I'm Phoenix Wright. So, with that being said, that still rises up like, dude, you gotta help defend my sister. And we're like hesitant at first, but we just suddenly feel bad for this girl because we're reminded of somebody, of a spirit medium who goes by Maya, but unfortunately we don't have any sessions that relate to this case. But right now we went up to go find her sister who is in the detention center, and things looking pretty grim because she based straight up saying, hey, I committed the act, just what are you going to do about it? And so that puts us in a bad spot already. But upon gathering evidence like we always do between each trial, we found out there's some interesting characters involved. There's some cowboy character who keeps referring to us like Bambinos and whatnot. But he gives a hard time getting to the main crime scene. But in the process, we made an interesting lunch lady. And then we actually meet up with Edgeworth, who's going to be, I believe, the prosecutor we're going to go up against for this trial once more. Eventually, we meet up with, I believe it's Gumshoe. He gave us some insights about the fact that, well, there is a case going on, but I'm kind of like not in the investigation team for some reason, which later reveals by a cowboy guy, he's been pulled out of an investigation. He has no idea about it. So things are looking kind of shady as we kind of poke around a bit more. So without further ado, we got all the evidence, and now we're about to head into trial to defend Lana Skye's sister. So let's get right to it.
Oh, I get it, because he's like a phoenix, so he's like rising from the ash. Okay.
Yeah.
Very poetic.
Very
Never
poetic.
made that connection, but yeah, that makes sense.
All right. February 23rd, 9:34 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2.
How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright?
Frankly, there's still a lot of gray areas.
Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area.
Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate.
I believe in you, sis.
Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice.
Yes?
A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that.
Miss Skye, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her.
And that is?
You're not a defense attorney.
I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright.
I realize she's got a lot of medals.
Looks like she belongs in the
That's
military.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
with
that's
those
a fair point.
epaulets.
At the end of the day, like all you can really do is present a case. It's not supposed to be like
Mhm.
necessarily like invested in your client. It
Yeah.
could be unnecessarily hard.
Alrighty.
Well, it's kind of like medicine. You're not supposed to like become attached to patients, their outcome, because it can go bad. But it's hard not to, if you spend time with people, to not form feelings.
True.
People are
True,
human.
true.
Unnecessary feelings.
A lot of a lot is making it very easy not to form any unnecessary feelings.
Maybe she's doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
Maybe. Let's find out. My first trial without a Faye helping me. No one's going to bail me out of this one this time. Oh. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself.
If only Edgeworth was here. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way.
February 23rd, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 9. Oh, wow. We're up at the number 9. We're always like 3.
Same judge. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor.
Oh, well, look at you.
Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in the courtroom since his trial.
I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright.
That's for later.
I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in your hands, not those of anyone else's.
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please.
Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it on the prosecutor's office lot.
Wow. He's much more forceful in person.
Wait until you see him in bed.
I'm like confessing to everything, including my entire fanfiction collection of Wright-worth fanfics.
Would you mind?
It's like 30 seconds into the trial. This isn't good.
God damn.
Even those I've not uploaded to fanfiction.net.
Okay, I just realized she's carrying so much like drugs in her freaking bag. You see those vials just popping out?
Oh god.
Oh, yeah, so I guess it's easier than I was thinking.
It's like so many vials.
Sure that you can just get it on eBay.
However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness.
Damn. I didn't think you could be a professional as a witness.
Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution calls its first witness Miss Angel Starr to the stand.
The cough-up queen.
Have I seen you somewhere?
You ordered the caviar lunch, right?
Ew. Oh, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before.
The judge is really wolfing it down.
And for you, I have a fiesta bowl.
Thanks.
Will the witness state her name and profession?
And you, sir?
Nothing at all?
Huh.
Where'd it go?
Wait, what? Hold
Her
on.
hand's empty.
Not
Is
barely
it?
giving him anything?
Oh, I think the game's bugged.
I think she's asking her.
Uh,
Asking.
I think the game's bugged.
Is
Oh
it?
no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's a crash. Like it's not letting me click further.
Oh
no.
Don't worry. We can just speed
Edgeworth
run
didn't want
it.
food.
We'll
Yeah.
never know what she
Okay.
gives.
She gave him zip.
Now I give you my testimony.
Oh God.
She did say earlier she
Not the
hates prosecutors.
testimony. All right. Let's just speed run this here.
Kind of weird. That means there's a frame with just her empty hand and like no
Yeah.
food at all.
Like it didn't let me continue to click here, so let me just speed run this here. I am clicking at the speed of sound. But yeah, I'm alone.
You may need to
This has
remember
not been
to,
our luckiest session.
like,
No.
yeah,
It
edit
happens.
this part out.
You know, like I always predict we're always gonna have at least one train wreck with the recording, which is fine. That's
I think it's
normal.
kind of, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool that we got a recording of the game crashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a hand.
Never seen that before. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the first crash we have there ever. I'm just speed running this. Yeah, professional witness. Gotcha. Cough up queen. Hello, girl. Yep. Give me food. Wolfing it down. There's a Fiesta Bowl. Let's see if it continues from here.
You're not streaming, Ed.
Oh, I'm not. Oh shit. Yeah,
Stream ended.
it crashed again when I get to that one. Weird. Don't tell me that part of the game is bugged. 'Cause
Well,
that'd be
game over, guys. Let's go
unfortunate.
home.
I mean,
Hold
on the Switch version.
Alright, sorry about that. Apparently there was
Waiting
a
for-
small
Rewind
corrupt file, but we fixed it in the situation. So, okay.
This
So
is
let's
your
get back
one stock
to
file.
reading the line. Can you read the line again for me, Alice?
Sure. And you, sir, did you order the fingerprint lunchbox?
It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please.
Well, Your Honor, how does it taste?
So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts.
I think
Like
that's a
cocaine.
cavity.
Cocaine.
Oh god, he just snorts the freaking cavity.
Is that how you're supposed to eat it?
God, you snorted it.
Oh, it's not caviar. It tastes like pickled tapioca.
Like he just busts out like the dollar bill, just rolled up and just like.
That would burn
The-
so bad.
The dollar bill has his face on it.
Oh god, what does the heck does pickled tofu tapacoa taste
I don't
like?
want to know.
Oh god.
Name, profession, now.
He stopped the music.
Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth?
Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us.
Prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating.
God damn it.
Seriously.
Hurry up.
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime.
Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional.
Uh-huh. What exactly does this mean?
Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police.
Oh.
She was a first-rate homicide detective.
What?
You can do that?
Miss Starr was a detective?
Ah! Okay.
God
She can testify. I know who you are.
Objection.
Cough up.
Oh my god, what if the caviar came in like cocaine like laced already? It's like-
Half up Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see.
She's already poisoned the judge.
Very loud. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr.
Who is this lady?
If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. A block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutors' spaces, yes?
Oh, whoops, that was my line.
Oops.
That's okay.
Sorry.
I didn't realize it either.
Crime took place by a car in the back of A block. Car's trunk. Killer stabbed the victim with his knife and went to drive the body out. Fortunately for her there was a witness, and arrest was made on the spot.
Who was this valiant witness?
Hi, it was me, Your Honor.
Parking lot floor plans added to the courtroom record.
Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Although I'm not entirely sure why the person making the arrest is also the person who investigated the case. Well, Mr. Wright.
I can't agree on principle, Your Honor.
Seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining?
If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr.
Oh, God. Wait, are they talking about me? Witness account.
All right, let's blow this testimony wide open.
Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest.
Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching.
As you can see, there's no room for doubt.
The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife with which you saw being stabbed in Detective Goodman.
Oh, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed?
I'm still thinking about that.
It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Merely a flesh wound.
I
I'm
love
not
that
sure.
movie.
That's the only line I know from that movie. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
How did you know what was going to happen? That's a weird statement to make.
Well, we could probably press everything. Let's see, I somehow always knew a day like this would come. Let's press it. How did you know?
Respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. But their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy.
The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted.
Oh,
I had to bow before that.
Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that.
Oh, damn. Ella.
Miss Starr, do you
Uh,
perhaps have something personal against prosecutors?
Felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. If I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one.
Laid off? She was fired?
There's a difference.
Sounds like a motive to me.
Me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr.
I'm on the way to deliver your lunchbox to my boyfriend.
Which boyfriend?
That is true.
We're
This
gonna ask.
boyfriend, he's a detective?
Not that boyfriend, the security guard.
She
Your
doesn't
other
care.
boyfriend?
That's boyfriend. You have several? Can I also be your boyfriend?
God damn it.
Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend.
Damn, the three?
To join?
Oh god.
Oh,
God.
Oh my god.
Yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants.
Oh my god.
I'll stick with the logistics.
that's
Important note to self. The judge actually had to think before replying to that.
Security guard room is in the lot in A block. Up on the second level so you can see everything from there.
That'll be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by the car?
Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block.
So she was then in B block when she witnessed the crime.
Yeah,
What evidence do we have?
Alright.
Yeah, we haven't looked at her in a
So,
while.
let's see. So the only evidence
I'm a
we
little
got.
confused about where she was because she indicates she could see everything, which makes me think she's in the security office. When she said she was by a gate, so where is she exactly?
Yeah, like, pull up the map.
If you
I think
open
there's a
the
map of the.
Because she said she
floor
was in
plan.
block B when she saw it, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I didn't mean
No.
I didn't mean to do that. That was
Damn
wrong
it,
button.
Ed!
This statement was clearly wrong, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, but I could see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I'll have to penalize you, Mr. Wright.
Minus 10 points for Gryffindor.
Ugh, I must have pushed the wrong button. Alright, that was my bad, because I meant to push enter, but I accidentally pressed E. Alright, which I know it's completely wrong side of the keyboard. Alright, so let's
Totally
see.
understandable.
So let's look at the evidence without presenting this time.
Yeah.
So let's check here. So she said she was in B block when she saw it happen, or was she with her boyfriend?
Yeah.
I think
Is it-
she was in B block.
Yeah, but
She was like on her way to the security office.
But then she had to
How'd she
walk
get there?
all the way around. Like
Yeah, if you
the
go- if
bottom
you-
right.
yeah, if you slide to the left, you can see the door that you used to enter.
Mhm.
And so we know that she could only have seen her on the other side of the fence.
Wait a sec, the security room is... does that wall block the view from the security room too?
No, she said she could see everything from the
Oh
security.
wait, oh, she was in the
Yeah,
security
because
room,
like if
okay.
you remember the
Wait,
security room,
yeah.
it's above.
No, she,
But there's a clear wall.
So she
yeah,
makes
you're right.
it sound like she's in two different places. That doesn't make sense.
No, but that's right. If she was in the security room, she couldn't see because that wall was in the way.
Yeah,
think that's
she
the-
would have had to have been where like one of those 3 cars.
So we
in-
have to present it where she
Right,
says she
you-
saw everything, if that's the
Yeah,
case.
yeah.
So let's go back. And I sent something perhaps as my finally home intuition network. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor sitting next to the garage car. Let's just press this part right here. By the garage car, you mean?
Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's.
Edgeworth is guilty!
Oh god.
I feel like it's a
Doesn't it?
conflict of interest, yeah, to have him be the prosecutor.
Indeed it was.
What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her.
If she's telling the truth, we're doomed.
Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick.
Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness.
You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie.
Huh? Rookie?
Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me.
We have a 100% win rate.
I'll fry you like a fritter. Crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That sounds
Damn.
good.
Ew.
That's like fried bug.
What? Don't say that.
That was inspiring.
I guess for disclaimer, I had cricket tacos. They were pretty good.
Cricket? Is that vegan?
No, you're eating insects.
Oh,
I mean, it's good protein, I've heard.
It is.
I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism.
Sure.
I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunchlady. My instincts are honed.
Oh.
Wait, she has a photo this whole time?
Oh, sorry, a photograph. You took this?
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera.
Wait, why would you have something like that?
Why?
Oh,
It's innocuous.
I suppose that's more exciting than hanging it around your neck.
Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now?
Think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again.
Whoa.
Damn.
My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Shouldn't,
Oh, this
My
is
other boyfriend, I guess.
Yeah.
shouldn't this be locked away in evidence?
Nah, we'll just accept it. Well, this is most certainly the defendant.
Crime photo added to the courtroom. Moment that the crime photographed by Angel Starr. Uh-oh,
Yeah,
that's
that matches up, like-
unmistakably Lana Skye.
the position from B
So-
looking over to A.
So, what was the defendant doing at that time? What was she doing at that time?
In her right
The
hand.
picture doesn't show her with a knife.
That is true. Hold on. Let's just go everything else real quick here.
Go back to the let's go back to the right hand statement. Because
Okay.
what
Yeah,
other?
You can show the photo. Show the photo to the. She doesn't have a knife in the picture.
I
Well,
guess. Let's just
but,
press what you
one-
see about it at least.
I think her right hand was injured, so she might not have been able to hold the
Wait,
hold the knife.
did,
in
did,
the
the,
hand.
did the picture show that she had a... Wait, where'd it go?
Because it might-
There's,
No.
She doesn't have any.
She doesn't
Yeah,
have...
it's nothing in her hand, but her jacket is like covered with what looks like blood. All these pictures.
Oh,
Could
wait,
be
so she-
ketchup.
She took this while, as soon as she's witnessed the murder. How
Yeah,
can
it's
that
like
be?
she's already
It doesn't make
stuffed
sense
the.
because this seems to be much after.
If you
It had to be after
remember...
because there was blood on the coat.
Oh yeah, because she's already stuffed
Yeah.
into the. Oh,
So, like, if you remember from, like, the layout of the crime scene, like, his body is already, like, flopped out of the car, maybe? But, let's see. So, the chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. So she thrust a pointing tip into the knife in Goodman's chest. So she said to the wife, I saw her standing to a next cigar shop. I sensed something, perhaps when I found me. Where did she say she saw it happen in the middle of it? Other than the photo she took?
So, yeah.
Okay, because that statement's true, that she is standing to the car.
Yeah,
And
she's...
But she wasn't holding a knife in her hand.
That's the part I guess
Yeah.
you could press her on.
I want to
'cause
There's no
present the
knife.
photo to this because that seems wrong.
Do you
But
want to
yeah,
just
it's
press it
not-
first to see if she
Press it
reveals?
first, I guess.
Yeah, just to be sure. Tell me more about this knife the suspect is carrying.
Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all.
Yes, that's about right.
Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's organ. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set, whatever that is.
Stabbing someone?
You can't testify her ability to kill an egg. I mean, a person?
Perhaps a chicken salad set is a better metaphor.
So the defendant was holding a knife. What then?
And then she thrust a pointy tip into the good man's chest.
She said she took the photo at the moment of the murder, but the photo doesn't
But there's
show
already
her holding
blood
it.
Oh,
on
no.
the coat.
Present the picture. There couldn't
Yeah,
be...
let's just.
Oh, no, hold on.
So you want to
Present
present
the
it
photo to this.
here, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, here.
Okay.
There's the knife in the hand.
Okay. Let's do it. And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with the knife?
As I've already said, yes. I swear on my finest salmon swirl lunch.
Salmon swirls.
That's pretty good.
I believe it.
But wait,
Wait,
where's
no,
where's the salmon though? Is the salmon the thing?
Probably buried
It's
under
only
it, maybe?
been-
It's the swirly part.
I'm sure that's a fine lunch.
But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph.
Look at this girl.
This is the
Stop
photograph. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Skye not holding a knife?
Whoops.
Oh man, the track died already. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Objection.
That had
That's
to be
all I
the
thought.
weakest objection ever, Edgeworth.
Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright.
God.
Yeah. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing.
And how can you tell that?
Blood splatter.
Huh?
See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat?
But it's black and white photograph.
Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood.
But what if it's like Capri
Word.
Sun or Kool-Aid?
Something from one of her
Well-
lunches. Chocolate sauce. Oh.
Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here.
Objection. She said she took it at the murder, not before.
No problem except you.
Mr. Wright, are you just going to sit there and take that kind of abuse from your boyfriend?
From Edgy
Haven't
Poo,
you
I
done
can,
it?
but no.
Shut
Ugh,
up before. There's always
you gotta be better. I object.
Objection!
Wait, that contradicts what this witness said in her testimony. Namely, she took the picture at the moment she witnessed the crime.
Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies.
Ellipsis?
This is weird.
That's it?
If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go.
What is this metaphor?
I don't know.
It's all
I
food.
think she's gonna offer more testimony.
She's trying to say you should watch the movie Super Size Me.
Good advice. I like food. I'm not sure I understand it, but good advice on food.
Didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Skye was cold, calculating, like a robot. Killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder.
Premeditated? How do you know?
Look at the chief prosecutor's hand in the photograph.
Well, are those gloves?
Surgical gloves made from thin rubber, most likely. Why would you have those on?
She was eating a meal. No.
She didn't want to get shocked?
Yeah, kind of.
If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves.
Gosh, you're so big.
Ah!
These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
No, they don't.
Premeditated murder. A serious offense.
Witness, add this to your testimony,
If it's premeditated,
so we can clearly prove that that's wrong.
Hmm.
I think you want to present the knife, because why would she
Yeah.
use the knife in the car?
Yeah, that's not.
it's
That's a
in-
weird plan.
It has, well, it does have no prints, so that does go against it, but
Why does she have Edgeworth's? And how did she open
Yeah.
Edgeworth's car's trunk? I don't know.
Wait, what's the
If she's
ticket?
planning a murder, why would she have? Wouldn't she have something else on hand? This seems like a really random item
Why
to
is she-
use.
Yeah, why is she like
Oh,
planting this evidence for Edgeworth?
Yeah, why is she counting on a murder weapon being in the car, though?
so
Like-
Yeah,
wait, was
Usually
the
in Edward's
toolbox in
tool.
Edward's trunk or?
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
supposed to be in
How
his
would she
trunk.
know that?
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Witness, do you know what this is?
Oh gosh, again.
Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know.
What is that?
That's a knife. A knife. Knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk.
Indeed, it is my knife.
What's with this case? A bloody murder weapon? A red car? All belonging to the prosecutor there?
This guy sucks!
Vicious.
The defendant's the chief prosecutor for the...
Mommy! I want to play Fortnite! The defense has a request. We ask the witness to provide an accurate testimony.
What's that, rookie?
In your testimony, you stated Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves.
Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning.
God, this judge is such a pushover.
However, I hope you're sober up for this. Why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon.
Oh my god!
Oh, she's
Uh-oh.
sweating bullets. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not going to plan a murder, don't forget the weapon.
If you're going to.
Oh, shoot, where did her boxes come from?
They jumped out of her bag.
Order.
Great, now the tide is turning in our favor.
Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free.
Oh, that finger tapping.
No, Ed, you do know.
Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie.
What?
I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned.
Did you just ask me out to dinner? I don't.
Not over such a trifling detail at 8.
But shoot, this is a hole in the whole premeditated theory. I can't do 8. You want to do 8:30?
Bah.
That's how they make dinner plans. They just do it in court via code.
The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. 8:30 is good. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there.
For you.
The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove, nothing else.
Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. You know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't,
Oh,
Well, I guess I'll just interrupt you. I believe I'd like to hear your
That's okay.
testimony again.
Okay.
yeah. Sometimes
Really
like
neither
the
guy.
thing auto skips on itself, so I have no control over that.
Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought.
how dare you? Powers of deduction are not to be underestimated.
I'm a huge fan of the bang toss.
Really now?
Same.
Angel's deduction.
Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and
Oh,
again.
that's easy. Oh, she done goofed.
Huh?
She done goofed.
There was a single stab wound to the
The
heart.
victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? This isn't easily disproved.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
If I order a pizza, does that mean I'm planning on killing the delivery boy?
I hope
Only
not.
if you do yoga before.
I mean, if that's true, then that'll be a third-degree thing. But unless you have intention to kill the boy on the moment, then
Man,
that'll
I
be first degree.
Whoa.
premeditate.
Like let's say the pizza boy brought anchovies, then in the heat of passion you basically, I don't know, stab him with or maybe stuff his
Yeah,
mouth with a
You
bunch
could-
of like
That's not premeditate then if it's passion.
You knew there were anchovies on that pizza. It's premeditated murder.
God damn it.
Uh.
You saw it through my
No,
eyes.
that means he was trying to kill me, not the other way around.
It was self-defense.
Alright.
In any case, the defense may now cross-examine this BS testimony.
Gladly, Your Honor. Angel deduction. Let's skip to that last part because we all know he only died to one simple poke to the stomach or chest.
I like how we asked her to talk about what she saw, and she literally said nothing about what she saw.
I mean, like if you look at the this thing here,
One knife wound.
is just a single stab wound was found.
Yep.
So we already found the, I don't know what's the fancy word, but the one that it doesn't match up to this evidence here.
Objection.
You say she was stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that.
Contradiction.
He,
You testing me? I'll test you.
damn it!
No.
I don't
Stop
want
with
to.
the
I don't
word.
want to get my number 2 pencil in a scantron.
My moss surprise.
Ew.
Surprise.
I know you
Thanks,
get
Mom.
calories.
I'm poisoning
but-
you. Eat it.
Oh no!
I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr.
Damn,
Oof.
she didn't
Burn.
like that.
Oh, what do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
Aha! All right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth.
But I was the one who said it.
Wait, we knew.
That was
that.
all Edgeworth.
God damn it!
What a hunk. He's my hero, really.
God damn it! What about my ejection? No one noticed?
he stole our thunder.
Well, witness.
He's hurting his own case, too. That's the worst part.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Yeah.
you got the crime scene set, right?
Is that
How many
ketchup
of
or
these-
something?
How many
Same with
lunchboxes
ketchup.
do you have?
Thanks.
I guess enough prepared for this. I don't know. I feel like she's advertising her food in this corner.
No, it's sriracha sauce.
God.
I mean, it's spicy ketchup.
It's my 5th meal today.
Say it again, Zach. You were a little low. Sorry.
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible.
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood?
Oh my god.
When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Scattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify.
The red muffler looks like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole thing was. Wait.
Wait,
It's not in the picture though.
she doesn't have a red scarf, does she?
Hold
Well,
on.
she does, but
Well-
it wasn't in the picture.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
Let's look at the picture. here.
Yeah, no muffler.
There's no
Not
muffler.
wearing it.
So wait, what's a red muffler? I'm just confused. Is that like an
Just Starr.
accessory?
For winter scarf type thing.
Okay.
Boa.
Because she's not wearing a scarf if that's the case. So we present this then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. Slam that table. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. God damn it.
The witness is clearly not suited for detective work.
Ouch.
Damn.
Between those
What?
two, there's something.
Edgeworth is just roasting.
Roasting his own witness.
The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it to yourself with this photograph.
Huh? That can't be.
Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless.
Damn.
Oh.
Oh man.
Damn.
Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life.
Harsh.
Oh, harsh words, but sick burn.
Your Honor, I'd like to witness murder.
Do it.
Let's take her to
God
the
damn it.
hospital, get some burn cream for that.
Guilty.
Edgeworth prevails. His burns are always the sickest.
Where is mime ejecting chopped liver?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was there a scarf? No, not that, but something red. Really?
Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business.
What?
Very well, witness. Continue your testimony so we can roast you some more. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Oh. Very well. Do you remember some things accurately, at least?
Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony.
The most important part.
The part where your sister stabbed the victim. This next testimony might be just a moment of truth. Apprehending the suspect!
After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. Quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot.
You're not
Despite not being a detective.
Can't get
Ah,
through
yes.
the-
Yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony.
Why would she tell you about her clothing in the
That is a good question. I don't know. But anyways, the chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Starr, resistance is futile.
Wait, she said
Ooh, nice one.
she saw the muffler when she ran away? Or what?
She's brought it up for some godforsaken reason.
Okay.
She's just totally trying to cover. Like Lana was on the ground, was just like, "Oh my God, could you also get my muffler for me? Just I really need my muffler right now." No,
Yeah,
you're-
that's really weird. The other thing is, she said she quickly grabbed her, but aren't they separated by the fence?
Yeah,
Yep.
That's a
Alright.
bingo.
should have been.
We'll see that. You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Starr. Snake.
That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is kind of a snake.
Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten.
No thanks.
Only note to self: Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites.
I think
Only
most
Mr.
people are.
Edgeworth can bite him.
God damn it! It's only on the weekends.
Chief Prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum.
An oil drum? Hard to imagine.
But we remember those were heavy and couldn't
Oh,
be moved.
she's beautiful but deadly. A predator. This one. Leopard woman. Rawr. Don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't know, man. She's making too many metaphors.
It's too many.
She
Yeah.
sounds like she's into her. I'm a little. What happened with their
Oh
relationship?
my god!
Skip
Do
it.
you think she's really jealous of like Mia Fey? Was like, why could you go with that defense attorney?
No, but you know what? She seems
No, no,
to
no.
hate Edgeworth. She seems really jealous of him. I wonder.
She hates prosecutors. Maybe it was just a bad date with Lana.
Bad breakup.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
bad breakup.
Or maybe there's something more insidious we're missing out. Let's see.
Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you will.
Apprehended the suspect. Alright, so after the moiter attempted to run behind the patron off to her side, I quickly caught her right in her.
Press this. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, let's just press it. Just in case. You say quickly. You're close to the suspect?
As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time.
Maybe I should press her more of her details.
Press
Press
forward.
her.
I'm gonna press this
Press
one
it.
hard like it's
Like it's orange.
like ground
Juice.
turkey.
Neither of those.
Oh.
Alright. I like to see the
Not
floor
the
plans.
direction I
just
thought
to
you
be
would go
safe.
with that, but okay.
The lunch lady's car was the visitor. Thus, she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here.
But there's a fence.
Oh, that would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes?
Is that correct, Miss Starr?
Yes, that's right.
But there was a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing! The cop of Queen, lunch lady athlete indeed.
Damn.
Was there
We were
opening at the
there,
top?
so
It would have taken her a little time to climb over that fence there. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast.
Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high too. So how did Miss Skye not get away?
Don't make no sense.
Oh yes, when I ran to her, she mentioned the muffler. I quickly call her, explain my rights to her.
Muffler statement.
Wait, the muffler. What is this nonsense?
Okay. After this, I quickly caught her to her rights and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, that's when I arrested her. She mentioned the
Question
muffler.
this. This is
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
weird.
muffler thing.
I don't think we're
This is
presenting
kinda-
anything right now. Yeah. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say?
If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony.
Cheeky.
That bitch.
Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just
probably has to do with the car.
the car muffler, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just that one word?
So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but someone else?
Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone.
Her phone? She
Oh,
can't
but the
mean-
phone call. Ask further. Because remember, the phone call was blank. She didn't actually say anything.
Yeah. Why the phone? Did you mean you discovered? Do you mean the cell phone discovered at the crime scene?
Yes, ultimately.
Ultimately?
My memory It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
I would have used a more of an
No.
elephant.
Court doesn't see, Miss Starr.
Chief Prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right.
Not me.
Near the
Metal
car,
Gear.
there was an emergency phone on the wall.
Apparently, it was out of order.
So she used a cell phone?
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good
That must have
witnessing,
been
witness.
then.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
Things I do to please this rookie defense attorney.
On a cell phone updated in the courtroom, Ward Muffler was overheard during a call made at Emma at 5:18. Okay, I saw all, but she
Should we present,
used the
should we present on that?
But she had to use her cell phone instead.
Wait, the partition. How
Wait,
could she see
no,
her?
no. How could she see the phone on the wall? Can't she?
Yeah. Because it's past the partition. That doesn't make sense. And she's still behind her, so.
Yeah, she's still like climbing the fence or whatever.
So should we present
she
the
wouldn't
map?
be able to see that.
Because like, if she were to climb it regardless, like there's
Yeah,
the
there's
telephone.
no way.
Oh, yeah.
There's
no,
the wall right there.
So let's. Do you want to present the map? See what happens.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We got that anyway.
Miss Starr, I have to conclude what you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye.
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias.
No.
Oh.
Didn't she just say, "I hate prosecutors"?
Right.
Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You, who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago.
That's the motive.
Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this?
Know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up.
Whoa.
Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed a crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly see Miss Skye making that phone call.
Oh, yeah, crap.
I believe you see
Got
what
him.
I'm getting at? That emergency phone was the back side of this partition. If you indeed were in B block, you could haven't seen it.
No!
Honor, what is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies.
Ah,
Not as good as that one.
That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question? Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court.
Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about
Where she saw it.
where she saw it. Probably is. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Where she
Where-
saw it.
Yeah, where she saw it, yeah.
Yeah, to start out with. Yeah.
That's the only thing that makes that be important.
This guy
Oh, yeah,
tried to
'cause she
use the
did-
emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it could have been pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it.
Pointless to lie. I see.
Let's say the witness
Do
did
I do?
actually see. Let's say the witness did actually see Miss Skye use the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed a crime from a different location.
A different location?
Just hanging out with her.
Now that's a
Okay.
pointless lie if I ever heard one.
Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it.
Oh.
Getting heated in here.
Real quick, so she has that camera inside of her lunchbox, maybe that could have like been remote activated. So like that's how she got that other picture. Or maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves here with that. But anyway, okay.
Ooh, that's a good point.
I'll put a pin in that and come back to it.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony I've heard until now points in one direction. The place where Miss Starr witnessed the crime was here. Out of the security room.
Security
It
room,
has
she
to
saw
be.
the, yeah.
Yeah.
If you saw her go to the emergency phone,
Oh,
which means she couldn't have seen the whole crime.
this is the only
But she wouldn't have
place.
seen the car.
This is the
Oh.
only place where she could have been.
But then how did the photo from the other angle get taken? Oh, but
Yeah, so
Nick
that's
did-
where I think it
yeah.
may be like she could remote activate her lunchbox
But
camera.
then it seems like
thingy.
it's set up.
The
Yeah.
security guard room?
Let's see where this goes.
Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Sir, not in this case, Your Honor. The witness not being part of the prosecutor's office couldn't park in. Let me say that again. The witness not being part of the prosecutor's office couldn't park in block A block. The only place she could have seen the crime is where the back of the partition is here. Remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room? Yes. Well, Miss Starr,
How many years have I been getting the better of men? Think that the tables could be turned.
god damn.
Hey, a man has got the better of Angel Starr.
Yep.
Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
Not turning back. Guilty will be punished. I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails.
The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Skye?
Mr. Wright, sir, doesn't this strike you as quite odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make any sense.
Huh?
She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything.
Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands.
It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows it.
Perjury.
Ugh, good. I'm burping. Sorry. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So, tell us what the reason was, Mr. Wright. I don't know. Freaking text went super fast.
Ellipses? Huh? Me?
Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know, like before our test.
That's just boring.
Miss Starr witnessed a crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from Block B. It must make a vital difference, but what would change?
Distance to
Angle.
the ground.
The
Angle of view to the crime. Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's
I mean, it's
distance.
also
I
the
don't-
distance because she, like,
really
she's
good.
still apprehended her. But let's see.
Distance.
I'm still on my
Why
camera
did
in the box theory.
Because she would have to go. Oh yeah, you're right. Because she would have to go. It would take her longer. She still had to go over the fence to arrest her, so
Yeah.
it would take longer.
So
And
let's
she'd
go.
have to go downstairs, and it's just weird.
It's wearing like high heels.
Okay.
I feel like it's distance,
Well,
but angle also makes sense. But I feel like it's distance.
let's. I guess we could take a hit if we're wrong. So changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime.
My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear.
Oof. Yeah, it's still about 30 feet, maybe.
The distance between the scene and the crime, and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see.
What she saw is not the question here. And what matters the time it would take to reach her to the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skye?
Well, witness?
You.
Yes?
Ordered the squid wheels, right?
Ooh, calamari rings.
The quality of my lunches has gone from low to an edible.
Squid-wheel.
I was bringing a PB&J lunch, fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Yum.
That one sounds good.
Boysenberry.
For the boyfriend.
Are you sure it's not
Boyfriend
poisonberry?
Wasn't in
number
the
one or number
station,
two?
so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. Before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But door was locked. Couldn't open it.
Damn. She had to freaking sprint?
What?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Then climb over the fence?
And then jump over.
Dude, she's got a good stamina to go that far.
That's why I had to go through the visitors parking in B block.
In heels?
Yeah.
That's quite a detour. This still kind of raises the question, like, how did Lana not get away?
Probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes?
Heels.
This changes things considerably.
I guess there's a thingy contradiction.
It was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence.
But the timing's off.
I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
Oh, you have a point. The spork is a... I don't understand sporks. I mean,
They
they're not
help
really
you-
good. They're bad spoons and they're bad forks.
Like,
It's
have
a
you
terrible invention.
I mean, have you gone to KFC, get a spork, you know? They help you pick up the chunks of meat and get the potato and the gravy all in one setting, you know? No? Okay, forget about it.
Maybe.
Do you like another caviar lunch?
God,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
This is bribery right here.
Yes,
Oh,
yes
oh.
it
And
is.
only... you won't change my mind unless you give me cocaine,
I have
though.
to do something.
do I have any evidence to stop this? Yes.
Raise an objection!
Raise an objection.
Do
Oh,
you
yes.
have anything?
That might have been a mistake.
5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You couldn't make pasta in that amount of time if you like it al dente.
I've got lunch boxes that I've got lunch boxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie.
What does that even mean?
Don't. That's why I stopped. I'm like, what?
A 5-minute blink. Isn't that strange?
Strange.
If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
I guess
Kill
I'd
someone. Wait.
make pasta, or even flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea, I didn't kill anyone!
But
Got
you
very
have
defensive
the
there.
instincts of a killer. You would run, but the time was different. Miss Skye dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable.
No! Again!
Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and blank in her testimony.
So what?
Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go.
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history.
Screwed, but
Oh, sorry. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright!
That was too close.
I'm afraid that the cup of queen has been dethroned.
God damn.
And with that, court is adjourned.
Bum.
Uh-oh.
Hold it!
Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right?
That is the one. Okay, that's the one she tried to force me off on me.
I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say?
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
No, she doesn't.
Oh, what was that?
Is this another of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask you, Mr. Starr. Mrs. Starr, even.
Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox, Edge?
Woohoo, a triple decker.
God damn.
But really, I'm gonna need some cocaine.
Make me hungry.
Out of deference to the witness's death.
Oh my god.
One more testimony.
Corrupt court.
I like how we're just the public is just watching this. God.
Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
The Lunchland motto says, "You won't be disappointed."
She's going to pull out of her lunchbox this time. It's probably like a bomb or something.
Oh god, she's a terrorist.
Decisive evidence.
Should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. Now, the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. The other blood type was that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. She proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
How does she know about that before Edgeworth? What? There was blood found on that shoe?
Could it have been self-defense then if they're both bleeding?
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
Sponsored
I
by
don't know if I want food and blood.
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence?
Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself.
Horrible. And you had blood tests performed?
One of her boyfriends.
Did I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics.
God damn, how much connections of
minute.
boyfriends she has.
Maybe I have like 5
In any
boyfriends
case,
now.
Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence.
I'm gonna have to make like a web relationship gap of all her boyfriends and connections.
What?
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, the shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being.
And it could have been like
Also,
forged by
peanut
one of her.
pan.
Right.
Wait, isn't it like control chain so you know that it wasn't tampered with between? Not that they've really done that. Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Edward is sure celebrating.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth.
Uh-oh.
Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, she has already been tested by a member of the forensics team. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth.
Gah.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen.
You could at least study some evidence law, really.
Dude, we went to law school.
I know.
The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged.
Victim's shoe is added to the court record.
Oh, right. You may cross-examine the witness.
The second rule of evidence law is so easy.
Like controlling who has access to it, isn't it?
Alright. I should have mentioned
So it
those
wasn't
5
tampered
minutes
with.
I was looking at the crime scene. And now the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? There are 2 types of blood were found in the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. The shoe proves it. Flawless, decisive
Why is it
evidence.
flawless? Press this.
I can't let this evidence go through without a fight.
You ordered
Ew.
the peppered fish guts, right?
Awful.
Huh?
Like it hot, Mr. Wright. Like your client, isn't enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup.
Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with the shoe? If you don't like shoes,
A problem?
there is a problem.
Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? There is a problem.
There's definitely a problem.
If I'm not imagining things, I say this is one critical problem with this evidence. It's a clear contradiction.
Gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. You couldn't take the heat, could you?
When was the defendant stabbed? Like,
And when do we hear of,
Between-
and when do we learn about her shoe size?
Important
Can we
information.
look at the shoe? Like, you know that three-dimensional thing we've been doing?
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Let's hear it, Mr. Wright. That was a bra.
Let's see. Check.
There's blood. It's my sister's, right? That's what I could tell just by looking at it.
It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime.
oh, that's right.
Oh, sis.
Look at the bottom. The sole. Yeah,
Why
there
do
you
you
go.
have blood on the bottom? Damn it. Ah, there's blood here too.
The sole of the shoe? It's gotta be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood.
Oh, this blood. It's horrible.
This blood might be an important clue.
Wait, is this the victim's shoe or Lana's shoe?
This is Lana's
Whose
shoe.
is it?
So
And it's
basically,
not
we
good
know
for it.
this is her blood at the top, but there's also a pool of blood at the sole of the shoe here.
Wait, go back.
No, wait,
up.
it's
Is
the
it
victim's
Lana's
shoe.
shoe? It might be the victim's shoe. That said, he stepped in his own
Victim's shoe.
blood.
Wait,
Oh,
they
yeah.
look different. The splatter, like that
Oh
one
wait,
at the
oh
bottom.
yeah, this is the
looks
victim's
more
shoe.
like
My bad.
ketchup.
So that means he
How
was.
can he walk in his own
How
blood?
did he? Yeah.
That means he, yeah.
And
Doesn't make
wasn't
sense.
and wasn't the way wasn't the way his body was positioned? His head was hanging out of the trunk.
Because like, if there's like blood on his shoe, that means he was like not only just standing his own blood, he had time to react or something like that. So
And
But-
why, if he walked in blood, why aren't there footprints? There were no bloody
Yeah.
footprints at the time. This doesn't make any sense.
it was.
Present the shoe.
There's a problem with the evidence here. Well, we're gonna show the shoe here, so we're gonna show at the bottom. Hold on. It doesn't. Well, maybe.
I think it's one of those things where we have to like do it.
Yeah. Here we go. I wonder if you notice. There's blood on the bottom of the shoe.
Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe.
God
We're
damn.
getting threats from the
Is
middle
that a
court.
threat?
It's
Like you're
so
becoming
illegal.
like you wanted to commit third-degree murder.
Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about the blood on the bottom of his shoe?
Present the
the picture?
picture. Yeah. So let's.
Yeah, there's no blood on the floor.
Let's just check it. Yeah, there's no blood on the floor. So let's just present that then.
Oh, geez, I don't know.
The problem is, it lies in the footprint.
A footprint?
Note at the bottom the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't that strange? Why were there any bloody footprints found at the scene of the crime?
Checkmate!
As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe.
This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints.
Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because
I will object.
checked the scene and found nothing of the sort.
Order. Well, witness.
Huh?
Right going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask, why wasn't there a footprint?
Oh. I think I know why.
Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mr. Wright. Think.
I already know the answer, but I'm going to ellipsis this one. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions.
What?
Oh, Mr.
Hold it!
Edgeworth will explain it.
I see. Now I get it.
Get what?
Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end.
Bamboozled, even.
But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect.
The drones.
Chief Prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. Knocked my hands aside, dove over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. Leopard woman, rah, I still don't get this.
She just likes...
Same.
I don't know, maybe she likes cougars, I don't know.
I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do.
No kidding.
Now,
Oh.
witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty?
I know what he's doing.
Oh, that, Not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
What?
Oh, witness. Well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor is brimming with water.
Water? What does that mean?
Still don't get it, Mr. Wright?
Washed away the blood, I guess.
Do you want to know what the real reason she knocked it over? The real reason?
You don't mean.
Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would have become evidence against her.
Gosh!
That's not what I was thinking.
Oh man, I messed up.
That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoes tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
If that's a prosecutor's specialty, piecing evidence.
That reminds me, Miss Skye's right hand was hurt. Did she say she cut it when she... Did you say she cut it herself when she stabbed him?
So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe.
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, Do something, please.
What? What can I do?
Make out with Edgeworth. Distract him.
I can't. I can only distract him on Sundays, but your sister has confessed to the crime. She tried to conceal it.
But.
Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor.
Very well.
But Angel Starr is on the prosecution's side. Totally biased. She could have been lying about the water.
Where's the proof that it was water?
Oh, sorry. This court finds the defendant, Lana Skye.
Hold it.
Damn it!
Is it her?
Little girl. What did you just say?
Oh, her.
Huh? Me?
Did you say that I, Angel Starr, was on the prosecution's side?
Well, yeah, you totally are. At least right now. You're saying my sister had evidence by erasing the bloody footprints.
Well, I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping.
You're about to win.
Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence.
Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else.
God damn, how many testimonies
Lord,
she's
man.
got.
The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court.
Your threats don't scare the cop-up queen.
Look at
Look at
this.
this.
Holy shit.
Photograph.
Where'd you get this one?
Had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
There's plenty of room for error.
Mr. Wright, wait. Look at the asphalt in the photo.
Hey, it's clearly wet.
The muffler.
Muffler, yeah, okay.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
Oh, not me.
Sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all.
It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway.
No.
Ellipsis.
Time to rise from the
Time
ashes.
for a vision.
I'm sorry, Mia. Couldn't save your waifu.
Woo.
Oh shit.
Right. From beyond the grave. Wet or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel.
Is he a medium now too?
Get yourself up off the asphalt and take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. Woo, ghost.
This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
I like to say an objection, sir.
Damn it!
Yay!
Your Honor, wait.
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore?
Until the good guys
No,
win.
we need more cocaine.
Whatever it is, can't wait. I'm trying to declare this person guilty.
He's upset because he's becoming sober. No,
I
it
think-
can't be.
I'd like to get to the evidence locker.
More of that caviar.
Yeah, get some more of that caviar.
Let's finish this. No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph!
Shut up!
The last one submitted!
Makes me laugh.
This trial isn't over. We still get each a piece of evidence proper consideration.
So, right. Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence?
Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I got to go ahead with this.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph.
Muffler.
But, like,
There's a muffler and a muffler.
The problem that's in this photograph is here.
What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor?
You just said muffler.
Yeah, muffler.
However, I see no trace of a muffler or a scarf of any kind in this
Oh
photograph.
my god,
God,
Judge.
Card.
Judge, you have reading glasses on you, bruh.
Words can mean two different things.
What's a car?
A muffler is also a part on a car or a motorcycle, Your Honor.
Motorcycle?
What is
Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe.
I
I
see.
rode on a horse and buggy.
I totally understand what you're saying right
Are
now.
you this
Keep on
old
going.
and not
Judge
know
lost his
what?
driver's license to DUI.
I'm just
Yeah.
more surprised he doesn't know a concept of an automobile at this point.
What's that suspicious looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
What if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony.
Triple exclamation marks.
What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case.
Let's see.
The phone.
Well,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
been a-
that one.
Yeah.
It's present. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court.
Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler.
Could it be that muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence.
Ow!
War.
Wow, she exploded like the end of Akira.
Critical hit.
Well, it seems we'll have to suspend the proceedings.
Spend?
Stop wondering about that piece of cloth. Really better go to the next here and do as a service of law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so.
Whew, that was a close, but he made it. At least for now.
This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime, after all.
We ate like 5 meals.
God damn it!
No,
old
he was
man,
holding on to
he's
those.
Oh.
Still hungry. I mean, we
That's
did
weird.
start the court at 10,
I
so
mean, the judge does take a lot of stimulants, it seems like, so make him hangry, I don't.
angry.
Metabolism is
Oh,
up
that's
there.
the munchies.
Alright, so as of right now, it's already 8:35. I guess, do you want to end it here, or do you want to push it a little bit more?
I think we
about
should
to
end
get-
it here.
This is
This is a good
Fading fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so other than that,
a good stopping point.
yeah, it's a good stopping point here. So, with that said, I was gonna say, when do you guys want to continue this session? Do you want to do a? Can't do a bonus session Friday. I'm not sure if you guys in the mood for a bonus session this weekend, or we can just push it till Monday.
I can wait till Monday.
Yeah, Monday,
Yeah, I like
Wednesday.
the Monday.
Monday's good.
Yeah, Monday's good.
All right,
Like every
so
first of the
for
month,
Monday,
Monday.
I do have to work that day till about well, I get out of work anywhere from 6 to 7. So you guys still okay with 7:30 on Monday?
7:30 is good.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty
Yep.
then. With that said, thank you guys for joining for this session. It's been a lot of fun. I had a lot of laughs in this one actually. So with that, concludes the session. You guys have a wonderful night. All right.
You too.
All right,
All
yeah.
right, get out of here. Have a good
Bye-bye.
one.